In the same way, although God has not put forth that which sometimes breaks us, He wants us to arm ourselves with courage, gallantry, and valor, to take what unexpectedly broke and create out of it designs that serve as inspiration to the lives of others. However, when you read this, you might think, how easy it is to say it. But how can someone do that who has been diagnosed with a disease that has no cure? How does this apply to someone whose child has died? And how do you put this argument into practice when a marriage of many years broke and came undone? To answer these valuable questions, I want to remind you of two things. 1, you are still alive. It is of utmost importance that you understand that according to God's plan, regardless of how terrible your circumstances, your history on earth has not reached its end yet. 2, if others have rebuilt with their pieces, you can do it too. Furthermore, I want to remind you that although sometimes you can't control what happens to you, the decision of how you determine to use what happens to you will always be yours. Returning to the example of the Geleston Palace, it is interesting to see how, faced with the same situation, the contractor's decision was to throw out what was broken into the trash. But the architect's decision was to use it to make of it a better design than was originally planned. Know ye that the Lord He is God. It is He that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are His people, and the sheep of His pasture. Psalms 103. Even every one that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. Now, it is possible that when you read this, you think, and what about of what the prophet Jeremiah establishes, saying that the Lord's plans are for the good and not for evil? See Jeremiah 29:11. In this regard, I will tell you that sometimes those good plans tend to be totally different from what we commonly regard as well-being. In other words, the good of God can be manifested in a very different way from what the limited human mind usually calls good plans. And only an understanding heart, willing to be used to carry out the absolute purpose of the Lord, will be able to understand it. The Apostle Paul refers to this when saying, "For to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. But if I live in the flesh, this is the fruit of my labor. Yet what I shall choose I wot not, for I am in a strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart and to be with Christ, for which is far better. Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you." Philippians 1:21-24. In paraphrasing what was said by the Apostle Paul, we get the following. For me, living is Christ. The center of my life is Christ, and to Him I have given the supremacy of my existence. Dying is gain. Death does not represent loss for me, because I find it much better to leave and being with Christ. And if living in the flesh results for me to be in the benefit of the works, I do not know then what to choose. But I don't want what is going to happen to me to depend on my personal wishes, but unto the Lord to do with me whatever goes according to His perfect will, and what is best to the benefit of His works. Therefore, the well-being of God is manifested in each one of us differently, and according to the specific purpose that He has drawn up for each situation. And not even death can be a threat to those who have assimilated this truth, because, for whether we live unto the Lord, and whether we die unto the Lord. Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are the Lord's. Romans 14:8.